Hi guys, so thanks for all the video suggestions the other day. One of the common questions I was asked about was Dreamfeeds. What are they? How do they work? When do I do them? How do I stop doing them? So on and so forth. I had loads of other topics as well. Enough content to do until Christmas, I think. So, Dreamfeeds, what are they? A dream feed is when you go to your child when they're in a sleepful state and you feed them. Why would you go to your child and feed them when they're asleep? Well, it does a couple of things. It can press a reset button on the sleep cycles and you get a better stretch of sleep on the far side. If they wake up crying and you feed them, sometimes they're like, hi, I had a nap, let's party, and they're trying to have a wake window in the middle of the night. So it's less likely to happen if you do a dream feed. So you stir them, and sometimes the eyes do open. I do change nappies up to a certain age at dream feeds. So they can stir, but the idea is not necessarily that they stay asleep, but that we initiated them. So the less they know about them, the easier it is for you to drop them when the time is right. So usually the dream feed will send the child back to sleep. And I did a video recently about bottle and boob at bedtime. And I did say that ideally we want to do it bottle and boob to bed, not bottle and boob to sleep. The dream feed, you can send them back to sleepy town because we initiated it. If they wake up roaring and we feed them and we send them back, that's when my clients can have issues there, because then the next sleep cycle they need it again. So we mistake it for hunger. Oh, they must be hungry because when I feed them they go back. But it's not hunger initially most of the time, but then it will create a hunger habit. So back to the dream feed. So your 11 p.m. dream feed normally stays there until your child's a month on solids. Some children are like, we're born to eat solids. They're like, yeah, give it to me. And others are slower. So it's usually around kind of 7 months that the dream feed is dropped. Some drop it at 6, some drop it at 8, some drop it at 9. But most is kind of around the 7-month mark that you're safe to drop it. So you don't just like go from like 6 ounces or both boobs full feed. You reduce it down slowly, around 10 days in duration. And as you're dropping it down, so say if you're on a bottle, say you're offering like 6 ounces, your child would be on 7, so but say they don't take 7. So say you're offering 6, you go down to 5 for 3 or 4 nights, 4 for 3 or 4 nights. And as we're reducing down the amounts every couple of nights, if all of a sudden you go, oh no, we had a super early morning wake up, don't panic, it might have just been a coincidence. If the next night you get a super early morning wake up, so maybe like a 5:30 when you had been getting maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock, put the ounce back in, hold her steady for a week, and then go back down that ounce again. With a breastfeed, what I recommend mums to do is reduce the timing down. So say if you say, okay, I normally do 8 minutes both sides. Okay, let's do 6 minutes both sides for a couple of nights, and then 5 minutes, and then bring it down to what you feel is a cookie rather than a box of cookies. And once you feel like, okay, they've only been having a cookie at 11 p.m., you can go ahead and drop it and see if they can go the night without it. So that's your 11 p.m. dream feed. Your 3 a.m. feed, I normally drop that one at 12 weeks old. So this Bubba here will be dropping hers at 12 weeks. So we only have a couple more weeks of that to go. From 10 to 12 weeks, I bring it from a full feed down to a snack feed in preparation. You cannot go from a full feed to nothing. The body will miss it. And with a baby who's breastfed, you want to protect mom's supply. You want to slowly and gently tell your body that baby doesn't need such a big feed at that time anymore. If you just drop it all of a sudden, it can affect your overall supply. Now you may say, oh, hold on a second. My 5-month-old is going to bed at 7 and sleeping until 4. You're telling me to put a dream feed in at 11. Yep, I am. Okay, because what's your plan with that going forward? You're going to hope that they stretch to 7? At 6 months old, they're going to do roly-polies. They're going to have little teeth cutting. They're going to be more active, moving those arms, moving those legs, burning off more energy. And with that, they become more alert, more aware. If you're feeding them at 4, they may feed at 4 and not go back to sleep. So I would suggest that you do put in that 11 p.m. feed. Now you may put in that 11 p.m. feed and they still wake at 4 because you've put it in their body clock. So if that is the case, then I would do the feed at 11, the full feed at 11, and I would go in with a mini feed maybe at 3:15 just to break the 4 a.m. habit. So again, these are things I talk about in my webinars. There's tickets on sale now for my Nova, which is from 4 to 12 months, and my Let's Get Started from 0 to 4 months. So what else about dream feeds? Oh, when you're winding with a dream feed, you don't always get the same amount of wind that you would with a daytime feed because the muscles are more relaxed, but still always look for your burps with a dream feed. I have dram fed children up to 2 years old, believe it or not. I'm like, what? I have, because if I have a case where a parent says, oh, please don't judge me, they get 6 full bottles of milk at night, no judgment. Okay, it started with 1, turned to 2, went to 3, so common. You cannot drop 6 full bottles of milk at night. And if a sleep consultant advises you to do so, that's cruel. Your child would genuinely be crying with hunger. So what do? We control, reduce and eliminate. That's a whole other video. But I have dram fed children, maybe when they're sick as well. Dream feeds are really useful when a child is sick. That's why I'm in no hurry to jump onto like your traditional cup or sippy for milk, because you can't do a dream feed with a cup. If your 14-month-old has vomiting and diarrhea, super dehydrated, and you just need to get sips of fluids in there, it'd be easier to go in maybe at like 9 and 11, 2 ounces, just to keep them hydrated. So yeah, you can do dream feeds. So the less your child knows about the things you do at night, the less they'll miss them then when they're better. That's another video. Anything else? Dream feeds. Yeah, you don't need to burp so much. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, nappy change. So with the 11 p.m. dream feed, I normally change their nappy before I feed them, but that's just me. Lots of parents don't change them from 7 to 7. Lots of nappies will do 12 hours even with a dream feed. It depends on your child as well. So but I normally just like open the sleep bag. I have the little poppers that I open, or the little zip onesie that I'll open. I'll change the nappy because we're putting more fluids into the body, and there's a good chance they'll leak. We don't want them, doing so great with their sleep and then all of a sudden they're waking up because they've leaked out of their nappy. So I normally change a nappy at the beginning of the dream feed. So you go in, light off the torch of your phone in your dressing gown, down your top, whatever, and you pick them up, put them on the change table. If they've got a little snuggie, you can put it beside them. You might get a bit of change them real quick. I'm not using wet wipes unless there's a poopy situation. I'm literally changing out wet diaper for diaper. They've converted me. A wet nappy for a dry, fresh nappy. And then at the 3 a.m. feed, I stop changing the nappy at 10 weeks old unless there's a poop. Up to 10 weeks old, I change it in the middle because I need that feed to be a full feed, so it kind of like stirs them up and also can help that burp to come up as well. And then after 10 weeks, I don't change anymore unless there's a poop, because again, I'm aiming to drop that feed at 12 weeks old, and the less they know about it, the less their body clock knows about it, the easier it is to drop. There's the sequels. Anyway, I hope you guys found that useful. I promise I will make another video soon. If you have any questions, pop it below the video and I'll do my best to answer when I can. Take care. Sweet dreams.